It's time to mind your business with me, Jamillah Lodge. Tune in to find out how to mind your business with BEDC, special guest entrepreneurs, industry experts, and more. Brought to you by BEDC. Bermuda Business starts here. Okay, Evelyn Darrell.
Yes. Hello.
Hello. Welcome to Mind Your Business.
Thank you for having me.
No, I'm so pleased to have you here, and you are the founder of Friendship.
Yes, I am. I'm one of the co-founders of Friendship.
So what we're going to do is talk a little bit about Friendship.
Okay.
And before we do that, though, tell me a little bit about yourself.
Sure. So, bear with me. This is my first time doing a podcast, so thank you for having me. I'm super excited, but a little bit nervous. So first and foremost, I'm a believer. I'm a dreamer, the good kind. I'm a doer and make things happener. I know that's not a word.
It is today.
It is today, right? I like to make things happen. So I'm also a wife and co-founder with my wonderful husband and business partner, Jason. I'm a bonus mom to our fantastic daughter, Olivia. That's the personal side. Mm-hmm. And on the professional side, I'm a real estate agent with Keller Williams Bermuda.
Okay.
I also do freelance marketing and also, as I said, co-founder of Friendship.
Okay. So where in that did you have the time to co-found a business?
Listen, you draw your inspiration from everywhere. Okay. So with Friendship, it literally just came because I got sick and tired of paying these outrageous fees to bring things in. And so that's where Friendship was born, and I can tell you more about that later.
Okay, well, let's get into it.
All right. Okay, then.
So talk to me about what it is and how you came up with the name, because I have some insider information because I know.
Yes.
But for those who don't, let's talk about, like you said, you were frustrated with the cost of bringing things into Bermuda, and we import everything. That's our life.
Yeah.
But when you buy a plane ticket, people are going away. You'd be like, "So can you?"
That's right. We all be doing it. You'd be like, "Okay, I am not answering this person." Yes, absolutely.
So tell me, what was your idea?
Sure. So I decided to start Friendship because I saw a real need for more shipping options that have the potential to be more affordable and offer exceptional service consistently with every experience. I also wanted to create something that would directly allow people to be a friend and make a friend. Mm-hmm. Bermuda is one of the most hospitable countries in the world, and I thought it would be cool to be able to showcase that and offer a solution by way of Friendship. And honestly, like I said, I got tired of paying an arm and a leg, and sometimes receiving fantastic service, sometimes receiving mediocre service, and sometimes receiving not so great service, as I'm sure we've all experienced. And I thought to myself, there's got to be a better way. And so, I was looking around, doing some online research, and I was like, how many times are each one of us calling? I think I've done it with you.
Yes.
And said, hey, are you traveling? Can you bring this in for me? And sometimes people do it, sometimes people won't. But if I'm going to ask you to do something for me and maybe inconvenience you, I need you to go do something, get something for me from Walmart that's not in your way, you should be compensated for it. And it's a great way for a traveler to make a friend and get to know how hospitable Bermudians really are.
So see, in my mind, I'm like, this is something that we do anyway, right? In Bermuda, people travel all the time. I always say Bermudians are some of the most well-traveled people, right? Because you got to get off this rock.
Absolutely.
You go crazy if you don't.
Absolutely.
But once you're off, then of course that's an opportunity for other people to be like, hey,
that's
when you come
right.
back, can you bring me X, Y, and Z? And so with Friendship, you have found a way to try and monetize that whole exchange.
Correct.
Right?
From start to finish. So not just for the the international traveler coming in, but also for the local going out and coming in. And I've told people about this concept or idea, and they've said to me, that's a fantastic idea, because then I can also offset some of my trip, my flight, my flight costs. So the way we want to be able to do it, like I said, is connect travelers coming in or locals going out who have extra luggage space with locals who want to bring items in.
Makes sense to me.
Thank you. I think so too. Listen, I have my list ready for when Friendship is ready to go.
Yes. So what stage are you at in the process? So where are you? I know it's a great idea. There are other models, so it's not like, because I'm sure people are like, what? But it exists in other places in the world. It's just, it hasn't been done here. So
Correct.
Where are you in the...
So right now I'm further along than just the idea stage, but I'm at the stage where I'm trying to get more research to make sure that it'll be a viable service offering in Bermuda. I've also partnered with a platform called Cargo, which I want to make sure I get exactly what they do right. I've also partnered with a platform called Cargo, which is an innovative local company already helping to shift the shipping industry in Bermuda by offering a shipping marketplace that allows users to find their favorite items and from stores online and post them on the Cargo shipping platform. So as a piece of that, and then with Friendship, at the stage where I'm at, where I'm doing a lot more of the research and sort of in the development stage, I want to be able to join that with Cargo, so that we can offer a full suite shipping experience and platform for Bermudians, whether they want to ship items overseas by travelers or by the shipping containers. That's right.
So I'm sure people are like, well, how are you going to mitigate the potential fraud? Because that's the first thing people think. Like, I'm not bringing in because I don't know what's in that box and that sort of thing. So what is your response to people who right away are like, oh my God, they're going to have me bringing in something that I shouldn't be bringing in?
So that's a great question, and a question that I get a lot. Every time I tell somebody about the idea, they're like, this is great, but let's talk about, I'm not trying to bring in X, Y, Z.
Right.
And I completely understand that, completely respect that. And so this is one of the things that we're also working on about the best ways to mitigate that and protect our users. We also want to have a review-based system. We also want to collect people's actual passports or IDs. So if you're signing up with a legitimate piece of identification. We know you're a real person, and we want to keep everything through the app. We kind of like when you purchase things off of eBay or one of those sites, they tell you not to do the transaction outside of the app.
Right.
And the reason for that is because I want to know that if you told Sarah to purchase something from you from Amazon, you provided the link to Sarah. Tracking that link, we see that she purchased that item through that exact link. And then on top of that too, we want to be very clear and let people know that we're not asking you to circumvent the law. This is not for people to be able to bring in shady items. We want this to be something that can, offer employment to Bermudians and also help ease the shipping woes and the cost of living here when it comes to purchasing goods. So we do want to, and we'll be engaging with lawyers to see the best ways that we can do this, speaking to customs for their input as well. And so, it's I don't have an answer for you right now 100%, but that is something that we are working on, and we'll have solved before we're ready to launch.
Okay.
But everything will be tracked, and you have to make sure that you declare every single item that you bring in and pay the duty on that item.
Right.
So.
And that's included in what you pay. And for some people, it's worth it because, like you said, sometimes the alternative is like, way more. Like I tried to order a dollhouse, I think, for my daughter for her birthday, and the shipping costs twice as much as the actual item.
Sorry, baby girl, you ain't getting that dollhouse.
You're not getting that dollhouse.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's a real pain point, I think, in Bermuda, and so that you are trying to solve that and create a solution to that pain point. I think is brilliant.
Can I just say one more thing about that as well? We advocate for shopping local, but being on an island, it's a little bit hard to get everything that you need or want locally. However, the idea is that if there are more affordable shipping options, such as Friendship, it puts more money back into the consumer's pocket for them to be able to shop local. So I just wanted to mention that.
Okay, I see you, because you know they can come from you, right?
Listen.
But the thing about it is, our reality is that we are an island, and everything is imported, whether we like it or not.
That's right.
So the fact, you can't dismiss the fact that you, me, and everybody else on the island shops Amazon.
That's right.
We shop all these other...
That's right. Even the business owners.
Even the business owners. And so we know that that's a reality.
That's right.
Just creating another option for people to choose, I don't think there's anything wrong with that. And like you said, money saved is money that you can potentially put back into the economy.
And I encourage the business owners to use this platform as well, right?
Yeah.
Bring in that shipment that might not need a full container. Maybe you just need a suitcase worth of items, right? And you're willing to pay the person's extra luggage cost and a small fee, and your item is delivered to you same day or next day, rather than having to wait a week or two to receive it.
So you are also in our Enterprise Bermuda Incubator program.
I am.
And what made you apply for that program?
Great question. So I decided to apply for many reasons. First of all, I love the team behind the BEDC.
She talking about me, y'all.
I was just about to say, you're literally my favorite. But no, I seriously mean that. You represent the company really well, and I met you first. And I just love how passionate you all are about entrepreneurship in Bermuda and helping businesses to grow. BEDC encourages new ideas, innovation, and I applied not only to be able to tap into that, but I knew that I could count on the resources, encouragement, and support that I would receive from the dynamic staff, yourself included, and also be able to tap into your network of various professionals, legal, web team, whoever I might need in order to get a Friendship moving in the right direction and launched, not only launched, but launched properly.
Right.
And so that's why I decided to apply for the BEDC.
Well, I'm glad you did. I remember when we first met, I was like, we can't really have this program. You have to apply.
Yes, and I'm glad I did.
Because for us, we want to encourage innovation, right? We want to see that because like you said, this is a pain point.
That's right.
You don't have it, not alone anyway.
No.
Everybody has that pain point who lives on an island trying to bring goods in. So if there's a way that we can get a solution here, and who knows, it could be replicated in other island jurisdictions.
Absolutely.
Because I'm sure they have a similar kind of issue, right? And
one thing I've learned too, I mean, just in general, but also reiterated with the BEDC, is that there's really nothing new under the sun. But what can you offer to make it better?
Yes.
And consistency is key. Can you offer the same service and at the same service level over and over and over again? And so that's what I want to bring with Friendship.
Okay, girl, we're going to get there.
We are.
We are going to get there. So what is one of the things that you enjoy most about being in the program, in the Enterprise Bermuda?
So I'm learning a lot. So as I'd mentioned, I'm an entrepreneur in other aspects of my life. And I've been able to take a lot of the lessons that I've learned, especially with so far within the ICE program that I'm doing as well, and apply those to my life. There was, and this ties into one of the most important lessons. One of the things that I learned was that give yourself a value and only determine what you want that value to be or where you want that value to be, and only do the things that are at that value. And for me, things like that I continue to hear and lean into by taking this course and being part of this incubator program. And it's helping me to not only prioritize the right things, but to make make the steps in my business that I need to make. Even if they're not giant leaps, they're steps. And it really feels great having the support of the BEDC behind me. It's kind of like, it's literally like the hand of BEDC that's just sort of like helping to guide you along. And it's a great feeling. It's a great feeling.
Yeah, I know we were talking, I was speaking with another entrepreneur and talking about how entrepreneurs can sometimes feel like they're in it all by themselves.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Right.
And so I think for us, we were like, how can we create a program or an environment where not only are you being supported by the team here, but there are other like-minded, people in a space, and you guys can support each other.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Absolutely. So that we're hoping, like that's our hope, that's how it works. But no, I'm glad that you're in the program, and
me too.
For you, it's a 12-month program.
Yes.
So at the end of the 12 months, like, what are you hoping to actually get from being in the program?
Great question. So at the end of the 12-month program, I'm hoping that I will have gotten the resources needed to get Friendship to launch.
Okay.
And by resources, I don't just mean financially, but like as far as the people, the right connections, and that I'll be able to launch Friendship effectively. And hopefully when I'm back on the podcast and you ask me, what are you going to do about the trust the trust issue that people might have with, bringing things in with somebody they don't know, I will have that right answer for you because, I've gone through this program. I've connected with the right people. I've asked the right questions. I've gotten the right answers, and that's what I'm hoping to get out of this program after 12 months.
We're going to try to get you there.
Yes, I know you will. I'm not worried. I'm not worried. Yeah.
Speak it,
That's right?
And it shall be.
That's right.
No, I'm glad that you have that kind of confidence in us. We definitely want to see you succeed, right? Yeah. Because if you're winning, then we're winning. We're like, okay, everybody's doing what they need to be. And we're all a part of this kind of entrepreneurial ecosystem in Bermuda, really.
That's right.
So let's talk a little bit more about you and your entrepreneurial journey, and whether or not you had always envisioned yourself as being
an entrepreneur.
Yeah, an entrepreneur.
Yeah, so I come from an entrepreneurial background.
Okay.
Both my parents, amazing parents, shout out to mom and dad. They work together and have their own business.
Okay.
I don't know how they do it. Married and working together, literally are each other's best friends day in and day out.
That is impressive in itself.
Yeah, right. And they were that. How do I say it? They were the goal. You know what I mean? Like I want what they have for my life. And I saw the highs and I saw the lows. But the one thing that I loved about entrepreneurship was being able to set your own course, your own path, and having the freedom to do not only for yourself, but for your family and for others. Having a business and being able to provide jobs to people within your community, who really rely on the income that they get from the business that they're doing with you. And so for me, I always wanted that. I mean, people say that I dance the beat of my own drum. Yeah. If it's not Gombe's, if it's not Gombe's, then I'm doing my own thing. If it's a Gombe's, I'm dancing to that. But I've always loved entrepreneurship. I've always loved the freedom to create. Be my own boss and do my own thing and be able to support other entrepreneurs, support people in my community. I
mean, those are excellent reasons. It's so funny. We just concluded our summer student entrepreneurship program. And I want to say 100% of those children were like, I don't want nobody telling me what to do.
I mean, I didn't want to say that.
They said it. But no, I do think, like, in my mind, when you think about financial freedom, when you think about legacy for your children and all of that, it really is difficult to do that and leave that legacy if you're reliant on someone else.
That's right.
Like, you really have to be in a position to say, this is what we're doing. This is how we're going to do it. And then you get to lay that foundation.
That's right.
Right?
That's right.
So I think that they're saying it so young. These are like 13-year-olds and all that. And I'm like, okay, great. So, you know, we're starting early.
Yeah.
Because we want them to think the way that you think.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And, you know, I'm super thankful for all the careers that I've had or jobs that I've had. But at the end of the day, they have their own business and they've employed me. Why can't I do that and employ other people as well, right?
Exactly.
So I appreciate, you know, you've given me a job to be able to make you more money, but you know, how do I also make myself more money and make my family more money for generations to come? And so
that's what we're talking about.
That's right.
And I don't know if the people can see your earrings, but they say Bermuda entrepreneur, and I'm loving them.
Thank you. I mean, that's what I am. That's what I'm about. And I'm in the BEDC, so why not, right? I had to wear them for y'all. I had to wear them.
Look, we need to get us some BEDC ones. You got to give me the name.
I will hook you up.
So let's talk in terms of like mentoring and motivation. So, you know, not everybody's an entrepreneur, or they don't feel like they are. And there's always a discussion around, can you be born an entrepreneur? Can you learn how to be an entrepreneur? The jury's still out. Some people are like, you have to just know it. We teach entrepreneurship courses, so obviously we feel like it
can be learned.
There's a mindset, I think, that entrepreneurs have. And so if you know how to tap into that, then why not?
That's right.
So my question to you is, what do you think? Is entrepreneurship something that you can learn, or are there some characteristics that are just innate that you have to have in order to be successful at it?
Great question. Am I allowed to say like 50-50?
Yeah, you can say that.
So I think there's definitely some intrinsic values, like, you know, being a self-motivated person, because not everybody is going to get your idea. Not everyone's going to follow you. You need to have very thick skin. You need to be resilient, because the entrepreneurship journey is like this. And you need to not allow your internal barriers and your internal thoughts, the negative ones, to not allow you to continue to move forward, even if it's just taking small steps. So as far as those things, if you have those things intrinsically, then I think that you can be an entrepreneur. Then there's things that can be learned or taught, right? You know, effective customer service, you know, making sure that with your business, that you're offering the same consistent level of service. Things like that, I think, can be taught, but I think that you have to have that will. I think that's the key thing. Because entrepreneurship is not a fly-by-night sort of situation. And there are periods where, you know, it is tough. You know, I've seen it with my own parents, and I'm like, man, I don't know how they made ends meet in these hard times, but they did it. We're also a family that, you know, believes in God and has faith. So for us, you know, we know where our help comes from ultimately at the end of the day, myself included. But yeah, I have that will. I have that drive. If I have a bad month of sales, I don't let it knock me down. I pivot. I pivot quickly and figure out what I can do, or figure out what I need to do to sustain myself until the next month. And I don't let it keep me down. So if you have those, you know, intrinsic characteristics, then I think definitely you can be an entrepreneur. Yeah, absolutely.
Well, I think that's good advice, because I do think that what we're trying to do is help young people early develop those characteristics, I think, right? Because like you said, there is that voice, and it gets louder the older you get.
Yeah, absolutely.
The one that tells you that you can't do it, that it's gonna be difficult. Yeah. Why are you even trying? Why don't you just go get a job?
Yeah.
Like, you don't need anyone else because you're doing it to yourself. So
that's right.
I think, for us, the challenge is how do we get in before that voice starts to, build its confidence and get louder. We gotta, subdue that voice early on. And I do think that if you can do that, like you said, the rest of the stuff you can learn.
That's right. That's right. And like getting in young with younger people, like I would say, just go for it. If you have an idea, just go for it. You know what I mean? Like, work it out, figure it out. There's so many free online tools and resources that you can use to give yourself a presence online. There are ways that you can network with people. And I'll say this to the youth, and I'll say this to you. If you have any young people who are looking for web development support and I can offer that, please give me a call, let me know. There's so many ways that you can do what you want to do, and it doesn't have to be like a large cost on your head.
Right.
If you talk to and network with the right people and share your idea with them, somebody's going to get your vision. And until then, just keep pressing on. Keep pressing on, and don't look at what the rest of the world is doing. I've been an entrepreneur and worked full-time job when I had to. Yeah. And that's okay. You know what I mean? I'm doing what I have to do for me.
Right.
Another entrepreneur will do what they have to do for them. It's not the end of the world. If you have a bad month, then you have to take on a full-time job too. But keep plugging away at your business.
That's right.
After you clock out, go home and work on your business. Yeah. Eventually, it'll get you to the point where you'll be able to do your business full-time and do what you want to do.
And one of the things that you said that I think is important is that it's okay if it doesn't work out the first time. It's that stick-to-itness that you're talking about that gets you to the next level and that you pivot.
That's right.
So in my mind, entrepreneurship is iterative, right? So you try this, that didn't work. You try that, right?
like some of these road conditions.
Okay, right? You're not going to you'll end up getting there, but the route you take just might be different,
That's right.
And so I do think that that's important, and that you recognize that it makes the experience a little bit better. Doesn't it?
So much better. Like, you don't want to, can you imagine if I was sitting here and I didn't have a story to tell, I didn't have any background, I was just like, my parents gave me, $70,000 and I just, I started my business and it was successful because I know everybody. No, that's great, but that's not real life for a lot of entrepreneurs. So it's all about being able to pivot, and it's all about being able to shift your mind and push. By push, I mean pray until something happens. It'll happen. It happens every time.
And then just speaking it into existence.
Yep.
That is powerful. I really do think that that's the first step.
That's right.
Right? It's claiming it. This is what I'm working towards. And then you just figure out how to get there.
That's it. What is the roadmap? What is the plan?
Exactly.
Who do I need to talk to? What research are you doing? You're never alone.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
If you talk to enough people, you're never alone. Eventually, someone's going to connect you with somebody who knows somebody who might know somebody who can help. And I mean, even the way you and I connected, right?
Yeah.
So, and now, I mean, look at where I am, right? Yeah. So, just don't give up. If you have an idea, no matter how small it is, plant it and water it and give it sunshine in the form of do your research, talk to people, build on it every day, and eventually it'll bloom into something amazing.
I love that vision.
Yeah. I mean, I was inspired with the yellow.
We're blooming businesses around here, y'all.
Right.
No, I love that. So I'm excited for Friendship. I'm so glad that you came to talk to us about your idea.
Thank you for having me.
I'm glad that you're in the Enterprise Bermuda program because I do think that, like you said, through those connections, through the courses and all of that, you can get Friendship to where you said you wanted it to be.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then through the partnerships with Accelerator Center in Canada, if there's a desire to scale outside and
absolutely,
into, like, you know, because I know you already have your connections.
Yes, I had already talked to them. The lady was like, "That's a great idea. We need to talk." I was like, "Okay."
Exactly. So we're thinking that way too, because we're like, you know, we don't want to just build entrepreneurs just for Bermuda. We need them, but we want to ensure that there's an opportunity for you to scale outside of Bermuda as well. So
that's awesome.
Congratulations.
Thank
today.
you so much.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Congratulations to us, right? Because I'm getting further along because of the support of, you know, the people who love me and support me and BEDC. So thank you as well. Yes.
Well, thanks again for coming on Mind Your Business.
Thank you for having
me. And then we always end it with my little catchphrase, right? It says, if you don't mind your business, who will?
Ooh, I like that.
You like it, right?
I'm minding my business.
That's right, honey. We minded some business today.
Love it. Thank you so much for having me, Jamillah.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
Thank you.
Thanks for tuning in to Mind Your Business with me, your host, Jamillah Lodge. Tune in next week, Thursday at 4 p.m. because if you don't mind your business, who will? Mind Your Business is brought to you by BEDC. Bermuda Business starts here.